This episode of Deep Thrones, we review House of the Dragon, Season 3, Episode 6, Faceless Men. We bid farewell to Criston Cole after the Butcher's Ball. We watch as Gwaine takes out fake assassins at Tumbleton, and we all prepare for the inevitable battle between Ormond Hightower and Rhaenyra Targaryen's forces, plus many more hilarious segments. Winter is here.
Welcome to Deep Thrones, the most entertaining podcast in the world of Ice and Fire. I'm your host, Sims. I got my other two hosts here with me. Sheedy, what's up?
Hi.
And Kens, how we doing?
Hey guys, doing well.
Good. Where are you out of town, Kens? That's not your normal background there.
No, I just am lazy, so I took this call from bed today.
Love that.
All right. Next time make up that you're in a hotel room somewhere.
Okay. Yeah.
We're coming to you all on Tuesday. Apologies for the delay. Last night it took me 3 hours to get through a 58-minute episode because I have a baby that's teething, and it just I'll own this one. I'll own this one.
Does
That's on me.
teething is like their teeth are like emerging.
Yeah, like they have teeth ripping through their gums.
Yeah. No, hats off to you and baby for going through that.
But yeah, excited to be here today. That was a banger of an episode. So, I mean, I don't know if we have too much to cover on the intro, but I think we can hop in and start rolling through this one.
No, we're at the point in time in American sports where it's just baseball, which is admittedly also the worst time. Even though I love baseball, but it's the worst time. So let's
The
just get
White Sox are hot, but yeah, we can talk about that another day.
House of the Dragon, Season 3, Episode 6, Faceless Men, which I don't really know what they're referring to there, but that's fine. Um,
The
so we have
Assassins.
assassins, but it's like when they say faceless men, you know who everyone's thinking about.
Yeah, like a
Like
really high quality assassin and not
Jack and
someone who
Hagar,
fails.
thinking about Jack and Hagar, like the guild of faceless men, and instead it's like every assassin in this episode got caught immediately. So we open. Criston Cole is walking through the woods with his men. They report there's a camp ahead. It's the Rivermen camp. And a lot of them are dead. They're like, oh, wow, something happened here. Someone got to him. Who could it have been? And the Rivermen spring to life. It was a trap, which actually I think is something similar to what they do in the books, a little trap like this. Cole and
Mhm.
his guys are like, oh, shit, it's going down. It's a brutally directed scene. You feel every punch. And Cole and his guys kind of win this initial skirmish, and Cole is like, we light the way. And everyone's hyped and they're like, "Let's fucking go!" And then they're looking around and they're like, "Who are these guys watching us? Who are all these guys around us right now?"
You had Roddy the Ruin show up, dog. You had Oscar Tully show up, dog.
Dog.
Next thing you know, Black Alisane's back there, also dog. But yeah, there's a little standoff here, and this was cool. We were talking about this earlier, but Oscar Tully, Roddy the Ruin, and then Kristen Cole have a little exchange back and forth. And Kristen does a somewhat honorable offer in the beginning. He offers, kind of solo combat situation. He offers to strike his banners if you could sacrifice his men. But it goes in contradiction to what he was saying earlier about, wanting to go out and basically blazing glory and dying and everyone's coming with him sort of deal. So I don't know. I mean, you can keep taking us through that scene, but I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on that after.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'll just cap it off with this. Like you said, Kristen Cole challenges him 2v1. He will not get the honorable death that he wants in battle. Instead, Black Alley loses 3 arrows through him. And he also has Allison's thing in his hand, her favor. He
Yeah.
loved her. He gets pieced up, and then his men get routed in a battle that doesn't have a name in the show yet, but in the history, it's known as the Butcher's Ball. Because I think like an exact line from the books is like, it was not a battle, it was pure butchery because the Black Army just completely they don't take prisoners in that situation. They kill all of them. Kins, what did
Mhm.
you think of Kristen Cole's death?
I thought it was interesting. Definitely when they started defeating like the I was like, ooh, little trickery. And then I was like, oh my God, is he gonna get out of this too? And I'm like, why is he just always getting away with this shit and getting these like cool moments to be a badass? And then you see the guys coming out. And for
Mhm.
a second there, I was like, are they gonna give him like this epic Battle of the Bastards where he gets surrounded and he's still he dies in glory, you know? But
No.
no, he got hit with a arrow, similar to the way Jace just got, it almost came out of nowhere. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard,
I
I
thought,
did.
yeah, I thought that was satisfying.
There definitely was some conversation online of people like, man, that was really anticlimactic for Kristen Cole. And I'm like, that's kind of the point of Kristen Cole's death. George specifically in the story Fire and Blood is setting up how Kristen Cole is like, I'm going to die this valiant death. And the truth is, in battle, all these men go off to battle in history as knights and warriors thinking they'll get a valiant death, and a loose arrow out of nowhere hits you in the eye and it's over. That's kind of the Kristen Cole death as well, is like, they don't
Mhm.
give him, and there was a line omitted from the books that people were pissed about, which is there will be no song sung about you, Kingmaker. The show really never hammered the Kingmaker thing, which I think was a missed opportunity. It almost is a scarlet letter to him, like Kingslayer is to Jaime Lannister. So I think that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's to your point, the glory was stripped from him intentionally. It wasn't like an oh, this is anticlimactic and the showrunners kind of just didn't know how to end it properly or whatever. Like he was a snake, right? He made an oath from the beginning to Rhaenyra and Viserys. He
Keep it,
broke
keep
that.
it, keep it above the belt. Come on. All right, keep
I
going.
mean, he broke that because, he fell in love a little bit and got his heart broken. So then he made Aegon king, which, he was a usurper. He was a traitor at that point. And then he even, kind of betrayed Aegon to go be the hand of the king of Aemond, in all but name, and then went on his campaign. He betrayed his men in a way, leading them into sure death. So, he had that monologue the last episode talking about he wanted to go out in an honorable way, the way that he deserved as the realm's greatest warrior. And the truth is, his actions set him up for the death that he got. And it was a merciless one. It was one that was delivered from a character that we haven't even really seen on screen that much. So that's also kind of like a shoot in the Achilles for him. Is like there's no glory in that. It came from someone who's not like a knight or a lord. So I think he got what he freaking deserved, and RIP.
Yeah, he did. He did. Pour one out for Kristen
Yeah.
Cole. A named character is dead. That's a big deal, and the show could afford to give us a little bit more of Black Alley and Oscar and Roddy, but we'll get into that, I'm sure. From there, there's just a quick cut. Alicent and Helena are found. They couldn't get out of that little nook that nook and that cranny that they got stuck in. They're immediately discovered. And then from there, it's a quick cut to a small council. Damon is angry because his gold cloaks are dropping. Everyone's arguing about different stuff. Damon wants to burn everybody out at Tumbleton. No one else does, including Sabbath Frey, uh, Torn Manderley, and Alan of Hull.
Yeah, there was a lot of tweets online, even after last episode, about how correct Damon has been, and that they list out bullets from the beginning of burn the Hightower host when you see him, or kill Darren and Targaryen, or this and that, and so to see it again played out in the small council, and Damon's once again saying like, "Hey, we should have done this." And they're still not learning their lessons, they being the Black Small Council. And then to see Alan agree as well, taking a little softer hand. I mean, it's just, I think it's a slippery slope to where the ultimate downfall is of the Blacks. And there was a funny scene here where Damon kind of throws the chalice across the table at Torrin Manderley.
Yeah.
It's like, I won't hear anything from you, whose greatest battle has been indigestion.
I have a friend who's a staunch black supporter, but they said that Rhaenyra as a queen has done such a poor job that she's like, you kind of see someone like Gwaine and Darren, and you're like, well, those two are like likable individuals. Could they
Mhm.
do a good job? Because Rhaenyra really has had a lot of missteps. Kins, you're a Rhaenyra fan. I mean, right? Mhm.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Rhaenyra season one, who was like a badass and she was intelligent and she was a good strategist. And then I think it's just gone downhill since then. But to many of you guys have made this point that like, Viserys never let her sit on the small council and never really
Hmm.
gave her the proper tutelage or upbringing that she should have had. So it's not like it's poor writing. It's just, I mean, I guess some of these choices could have been defended, but
Yeah.
it's
I
been,
agree though. Viserys is to blame for all of this. Really. Realistically.
Well, I mean Otto and Aegon also, but
yeah.
Otto's not alive, first of all. How dare you blame him? Aegon Aegon didn't want it at first, all right? And also,
That's
we'll get
true.
into Aegon later in the episode because I got a little something I'd like to talk about later.
And then, but before we moved on from this scene, she did agree to send another assassin. She loves her assassin. She sends an
Hmm.
assassin to Tumbleton in this scene.
Yeah, well, and also she asks Alan to send for more Valerian men.
Yeah.
She's because she all she does with Corlys, it is a nonstop take machine with Corlys. He's like, Corlys, what else you got for me, buddy? What else you got for me, buddy? And then Corlys is like, no more, no more.
Hmm.
From there, a House Baratheon delegation arrives. She has a quick powwow with them. She's like, "Where the fuck is your liege lord, Boros Baratheon?" This scene was weird to me because I could have swore they had sided with the Greens kind of outright, but I guess Aemon's betrothal to his daughter didn't like necessarily
It
seal the
didn't
past because he
happen.
hasn't, nothing happened. Um, he's fighting the Vulture King, who is a king of the Dorne. Again, Dorne is not part of the Seven Kingdoms at this point in time, and she's like, "That's not important. This is important." And she tells the Baratheons, she's like, "Give me your shirt. Give me a shirt." Because again, she's sending assassins.
Hmm. Nothing to add on that one.
Nothing, man.
Pretty
Kinzie.
straightforward.
All
I
right.
thought it was a smart move. I was like,
I
what?
agree. And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
From there, we get a Vermithor flyover at Tumbleton, and Hugh and Ulf have a quick chat. Ulf talks about just life. And he's like, life is weirdly not getting better considering we have dragons.
Ulf is really taking it hard that he's not allowed to grab beers with the boys anymore. I mean, this is
Honestly,
the most contemplative I've seen him all series.
I think he has a problem. I think he genuinely has a problem. I
I
think we
think
need to
he's
talk.
yeah.
Yeah, we got to sit down off and tell him, like, you have a dragon, and you're like, oh, I can't drink anymore. And he's getting the shakes, and he's like,
Like
He
not
needs an
even one
intervention.
ale,
yeah,
not even one.
not one drink. And she just doesn't want him to get killed until the war's over. Once the war's over, he can have all the spoils of war. Um,
And there's a little cute moment here where Silverwing and Vermithor were kind of nuzzling up with one another,
yeah,
and it's cool. Like there's some things that the show really hits on, and they're so small and you wouldn't even notice. But Silverwing was the old Queen Alisane's dragon, and Vermithor was uh, the old king.
Harris.
That's Jaehaerys's dragon. So they were, best buddies, married to each other, flew together all the time on all these different royal progresses and things like that. So it was cool that that details added in that they're really close.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that too. Queen Alysanne was big on that. She would fly to places on her dragon to just like make the entire kingdom feel like they were part of it. They were great.
Hmm.
Obviously, Jaehaerys was known as like the
The
best. He
conciliator.
was the best king out of them all.
Yeah.
Rhaenyra and Alicent have a quick talk about why Alicent, why you should try, where you going, Alicent, essentially. And Alicent's like, well, Helena's with child, and it's kind of a nothing of a scene, really, other than Rhaenyra kind of saying she would have been merciful if she found out, which is like you can't be, really.
Yeah, this was a scene that Emma Darcy, I think, carried. Like,
I
to
mean,
your point, there wasn't like it's almost like Allison is just like the scenes with her are sometimes unbelievable with what they've done with her character path. But Rhaenyra or Emma as Rhaenyra, I think, carried this to the point where there's emotions coming out where like she had a scene, she had or they had a line where it was basically, I didn't you're saying that I did this, you guys did this, you're making me keep Helena, locked up essentially. And it really drew out a lot of emotions in a scene that I thought was, to your point, like not much happening because the storyline was a little weird.
Emma is amazing. There's no doubt. And I agree. The Allison scenes for me, it sucks because I'm such an Allison fan, and Olivia Cook does all she can with the stuff she's given. But her character, man, to me, Allison is so much more interesting if she's like how she is in the books. And she doesn't need to be 20 years older than Rhaenyra. She can be the same age and a friend, but if she is like, my sons will come back to King's Landing and take the throne back for us, like she is in the books, I think that's just so much more compelling. I do.
than just like searching around for the nearest out or always being the victim of this or slithering out of that.
Also, at this point, why is anyone listening to her? Why is anyone listening to her? She's a prisoner. She doesn't even need this much screen time. I don't even get it at this point. Genuinely. Like, it's very weird.
Mhm.
Um, and after that scene, Rhaenyra has a quick scene with Myceria where Myceria is like, I didn't know she was pregnant. That's crazy. Like, Rhaenyra asks her outright. And then Myceria has like a handmaiden. Essentially, she's having that lady killed, right? Because that lady knew that Myceria knew, and Myceria can't risk that lady telling Rhaenyra.
Oh, that's what that was about. Okay.
Yeah, the first thing she does sneaky this entire season is not only to not help the queen, but it's to kill the one person who would undermine her. So that's it.
Yeah, she didn't want to be sold out. And there was an interesting part of this conversation where Allison asks, what am I to you after Rhaenyra says, you're a high tower, you're an enemy to all the common folk and all the people
What
on my
are we?
side.
What
Yeah,
are
and
we?
Allison, well, what am I to you? And Rhaenyra gives like a cold shoulder and basically shrugs it off. And I think this is the show's way of saying like, okay, Rhaenyra's starting to turn heel a little bit.
Maybe. We'll see. We talked about this and we can't talk about this on the pod because there are spoilers, but they are doing things now so that later Rhaenyra can avoid being a bad guy. We've talked about this. And we can't get it. Well, we can once we get to the end of the episode, we can because the books are so different. So it doesn't matter. We'll get into it.
But so wait, like as somebody who hasn't read the books, I can ask this question
Yeah.
without it being a spoiler. Because to part of me was thinking that, I mean, Allison's just pretending to be still on her side and her friend until she gets let go. Like,
I think she just wants my
she's
honest
trying
belief
to
is she just wants her
survive.
hands washed of the entire situation. I
Yeah.
think Allison genuinely would go live in Essos with Helena if Rhaenyra let her go.
Okay.
She sold out Aegon. She's telling her where Aemond is in this episode. Her
Mhm.
sons, she's like, kill him.
But she's
Kill,
willing
kill
to
him.
Except
go with
Darren.
like Jahara too. So all she cares about is Helena.
Maybe. She might kind of
Okay.
just care about herself, and Helena is like, yeah, you can come too if only the strong will survive kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I just don't understand this character's motivation fully.
I don't think Ryan Condal understands Allison's motivations fully. Book Allison has, again, we'll talk about this so we don't get too bogged down, but she has amazing lines that just bite at Rhaenyra about how, like, yeah, you took King's Landing, but Aemond has Vhagar and he's coming back, and it's just badass. This
Mhm.
Allison would be like, if Aegon comes, I'll let you know when, and you have the scorpions ready, you can shoot him down. Um,
Book Ellison is much more of a product of Otto than Show Ellison is.
Mhm.
she's set in her ways. She's firm and strong, very strong-willed, and so is Rhaenyra in the book as well, and someone you root for. Even though Book Rhaenyra does do some pretty evil things, you still root for her. You see
Yeah.
her as
Mhm.
the good guy. Um, Damon talks with the unpaid gold cloaks, who all start to resign. My sister said this. She texted me and said it reminded her of Rudy when they're all like turning in their uniforms. That was kind of what it looked like. And the gold cloaks one by one start resigning on Damon.
Yeah, I mean, it was bound to happen. You can't not pay these guys and also have them being targets of multiple murders. It's just not going to happen.
It's not it's not a good policy. Corlys hangs some pirates. Alan says more men are needed. Corlys gets pissed, complains, but then he of course acquiesces and also tells Alan like, "Yo, by the way, Tywin Lannister survived and is headed for Rook's Rest."
This was a powerful scene where Corlys kind of gets a taste of his own medicine a little bit.
Mm.
Corlys is still almost pulling an Aegon where he's just begrudging everything and pissed about this and that happened to him. And he
Oh, the
goes,
queen wants more.
the
The queen
queen wants
wants
more,
more.
and she won't even grant you legitimacy. And Alan goes, how long did it take you to do the same thing? And Corlys was silent, I think, for the first time
Yeah.
in a conversation that we've seen on screen. So he agrees to send the men, and we find out what happens to him later on. But I thought this was a great scene between Alan and Corlys.
Yeah. No, I agreed. From there, they're burying the body of the guy that they killed. Laris wants to go east. Tylan wants to take Aegon to Casterly Rock. Aegon says to Tylan, Do you think I'm a bad, terrible man? Because last episode, Laris called him a terrible man, and Tylen gives the most wishy-washy, placated answer, and
I'm a motherfucking ham.
motherfucking ham and Aegon realizes that Laris is not afraid to tell him the truth to his face, so he trusts Laris and he goes, "We're going to Essos." So it looks like next episode Aegon's going to be heading to Essos. Very weird scene where Rhaena sees Bela, I guess, and like tries to go get her, like, tries to go say hi to her on Sheepstealer, but like doesn't get there in time, and then gets back to her little hobbit hole. But then they take her to meet Jane Eyre because Jane Eyre's pissed that Bela or that Rhaena with Sheepstealer left her little hobbit hole. And she's like, "Don't fucking leave your little hobbit hole." And she slapped her and also threw a man through the moon door, and they never address who that individual was. The scene just opened with like like a Wile E. Coyote cartoon. It was like ah.
That's
This is
funny.
this is part of the problem with dragon lore and just kind of making it up and separating from what George writes because how are there I'm assuming Adam and Bela were there, right? Because there were two
Number
dragons that
two,
we saw
yeah.
flying around. So how do neither one of them catch a scent of sheep stealer if Caraxes did when he was there?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Caraxy's got that dog in him, he's got that nose. But he was a little closer, I think. They were further away. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I have no clue. No clue.
I,
Who was
I
going through
mean,
the moon door?
yeah, also, yes. So there's a lot of loose ends in that scene that need some explaining.
Condell sometimes will do the most like book lore thing where you're like, wow, that was awesome. And then out of nowhere, you're like, what the fuck is this guy up to? What is he thinking? Eamon and
Yes.
Alice have a scene. They have a lot of scenes, so we can probably skim through these early ones until it really heats up. But they clearly have like a weird thing going on where they might start dating. It's a real will they, won't they?
I think Eamon's actively trying to pull away, and Alice is trying to keep her under her spell. I mean, Kens, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would agree. I think Eamon's like, you're not my mom.
You're not my real mom.
Not my
Uh,
mom, but you're kind of motherly. So I'm
yeah.
sort
Kind
of
of mommy.
into
She's mommy.
He's like, I can kind of get into that. He's like, do you ever get trapped in like washing machines or
it.
when was the last time you were like kind of stuck in like a home appliance? Alan of Hull, this scene is so last week everyone was like, was Adam trying to hook up with Bela? And this week,
Yeah.
Dude,
Alan of Hull kisses Bela. I think this is the first time they've talked. But it gets lonely out on the water and it gets lonely riding dragons. So they're both just trying to get,
A little
is that like his
squirt,
step
squirt.
cousin?
I, I,
He's Corliss's bastard son, so there's that connection. And
yeah,
she is Corliss's daughter's
Like
she
second
granddaughter,
cousin.
so it's granddaughter.
granddaughter. Yeah,
Something. There's
that's
enough blood.
I had in my notes, bro, what in all caps, like that. It was. I thought Adam and Bela were having something set
Me
up last
too.
episode, and
Yeah.
then it's almost like the show writers forgot that it was like Adam instead of Alan, and then they just had
You're
that
setting
scene
up
happen.
now is not the time to be setting up a zany love triangle. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, what? And
Yeah.
then like the Valerians aren't even into the whole incest thing, so why is that?
I think there's enough removal, is the way they're seeing it. There's enough removal.
She's like, yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I
Random.
don't get it.
But
And she's also supposed to be like exhausted and just like up day and night, and she makes a move on Alan out of nowhere. Like, how does that fit
Day and
into that?
night.
When typically
yeah.
when a lady's like very tired, that's like a reason not to be in the mood, you know?
It's true. I got a headache. I've been on Vermithor all
True.
day. Oh, that's actually that's Hugh. Hugh Hammer would say that. Yeah, no, I gotcha. That is weird. I didn't even think of it that way. Yeah, that's I don't know. It was such a weird scene. It was forced. The Adam scene last week was forced. It was almost like just to have him in the episode. And then this scene was like, why are they kiss? Why? And Alan seems so dutiful that I feel like he wouldn't break. He's got like that Jon Snow thing to him a little bit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I guess Jon Snow broke a little bit. He's in that cave with Ygritte. You know what I mean? He's in that cave.
He didn't
Um,
break. He didn't break with his sister, like his. I guess I don't even know what that is. Like a stepdaughter, or like
who are you talking about? Alan and Bela?
Ellen and Bela. If
No,
that's
he's because he's
he's Corliss's son, bastard
Yeah,
son, and she's Corliss's granddaughter. So
right.
that's like a,
Oh,
the- you know what I
step
mean?
uncle. He's like an uncle.
Yeah, that's yeah,
Yeah.
that's
He's a bastard uncle. This is my bastard uncle, and
Bastard
I'm
uncle.
dating him. Yeah. Gwaine treats with Ormond and Daron. He's very tired from the road. He's a little dirty, so Ormond's keeping a safe distance because he stanks. Gwaine tells Ormond, essentially, you're insane for fighting on. Let me tell you something. Gwaine is having. Everyone loves Gwaine. Everyone loves
We
Gwaine because
love
he's a
Frank.
straight shooter and he's a good man on the greens, which I'm happy they at least have one of them.
Yeah, Gwen's growing on the squad. You learn a little bit more about Ormond's view on the different lords and ladies. He hates Rhaenyra. He thinks she's a weak woman who definitely won't have the stones to make a move on Tumbleton. And he has a slip up, I think, complimenting Corlys and saying that that was the only good choice that she's made. Then he even talks about, who's going to be Darren's hand of the king. But I think his hatred for Gawain is almost like a hatred in himself, I think, because he keeps making these comments about Gawain being, homosexual and all this stuff. And it seems like a lot of the qualities that Gawain has outright without hiding anything is what Ormond portrays himself to be.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And also Gwaine has, I think also there's a level of jealousy because Gwaine um, holds himself in a really good way. And it's not forced, it's just who he is. He
Hmm.
Yeah.
calls out Kristen Cole in episode 2 about what he saw in his camp and says, "You're in charge of these men. Like, what are we if we allow that kind of activity?" You know what I mean? Whereas Ormond, we saw essentially lie to the small folk and then kill a guy anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
Gwaine is that thing he could never be. And like you said, Gwaine is like, this is just who I am. Take me or leave me. But I'm going to
Mhm.
be morally right. And Ormond, you're right, is trying to portray this level of like intelligence and toughness. And in a few scenes, we'll see how tough Ormond really is versus how tough Gwaine is. Gwaine and Darren actually talk when they leave the room and have a really good conversation. We see for the first time that Darren knows what Ormond really is. He's not really under his spell. He's like, yeah, I know he's fucking weird, like and
Mhm.
asks how his
Cool.
mother's doing.
Yeah. Why would you leave me here with him? Come on, cuz.
Yeah, yeah, essentially,
Yeah, Darren and Gwen are both sympathetic characters on the green side, which is rare on that side.
yeah,
Strategically, Ormond tells us a little bit about his plan with Tumbleton and how he wants to fight the blacks on his terms and make them come there. And, the great houses, once this big defeat and big battle happens, that the great houses will come over to the high tower slash green side.
Hmm.
Gawain's not so convinced. He says, have they started coming over yet? Like whose
yeah.
banners have joined us so far? And I wanted to ask you guys, like, I don't really see for Ormond, to me, that's kind of like an A plus B equals like Z. Like I don't really understand. Even if you defeat some of the Black Army at Tumbleton, like the Blacks still have more dragons than you on paper. Like that's really what's going to matter. So I don't know. What do you guys think of that whole plan?
I think his plan is bad. And I also think like Gwaine even asks him, "What is your plan?" at one point. And I think it's because Ormond also is kind of grasping at straws. It's almost like I've bit off more than I could chew and I can't go back now. It's the
Hmm.
famous Theon Greyjoy talking to Maester Luwin, where Maester Luwin's like, you're not this man, and Theon goes, "I know, but I've come too far to be anyone else." Meaning
Hmm.
like it's
Mm,
got to just rip the band-aid off and keep going. And I think he is hoping for just sexism to win out, like genuinely. I think that's his play. Stall, cause enough chaos in King's Landing, and let sexism do its thing. Kins.
That's what I was like. Is he a mastermind? Is he gonna like plan a whole coup from afar, completely get like an uprising going in? And I'm like, got he's either a mastermind or he's an idiot. Those are
Yeah.
the two.
But sometimes even idiots can accidentally make amazing things happen.
Right. The broken clock is correct twice a
But
day.
blind squirrel could find a nut. You know what I mean? Allison tries to get Helena to eat, and she sees Helena's embroidery, and it has a little curled up Aemond at Harrenhal. Helena, of course, is a dreamer, so Allison's like, "Hell yeah, here's our opportunity. I'm not Allison from the books. I'm just
Literal.
gonna snitch out my fucking son." Aemond and Alice have a really good conversation, Alice like shanks a guy who's there to kill Aemon, of course, because there's this hit out on his head. And she's like, I want to show you something. This is for all the fucking internet nerds. This is where Condal loves to occasionally dip into the lore. Dreamfire famously was rode to Harrenhal by its rider, Rhaena Targaryen, who is like an ancestor of this current batch of Targaryens. And it was always rumored that they left a clutch of eggs there. And it's also rumored that three of those eggs might just be Daenerys's eggs.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was cool. It was very cool to see that. Alice
See,
Rivers,
book guy.
though, Alice, Alice Rivers, though, in the tapestry that Helena made, Alice was very menacing. Like almost couldn't even tell it was her. Like she had, I think, like bright red eyes and like black
Yeah.
skin, like almost double ears, things like that. So it made me kind of think, like, are we seeing the real Alice Rivers? Like how much of what we're seeing on screen is
Yeah.
bewitching or um is she like 1,000 years old like the Red Witch was in Game of Thrones, Melisandre. So I think there's something more there based off that tapestry. And are those eggs the real ones, or is that part of kind of her plan to keep aiming there?
Hmm.
Hmm.
I do wonder that as well, if she's pretending, fake age kind of thing. She also mentioned curses to Aemon because Aemon said, I'm cursed. And it's like, is she cursed? Is there something there? Aemon, I think, had a moment of, I'm cursed for my sins. And I think how he talked about Aegon last episode and this episode, I think Aemon might become for Aegon what Daemon became for Rhaenyra.
Hmm.
I think there's an
Mm,
angle where the show could
like
have Aemon be like, I will do what I can if my
to
brother
put
is
Aegon on
alive
the throne.
to eliminate a tough competitor or two to make sure that my brother can succeed. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, that's just a thought. The show has runway to take that angle. I just don't know if they will.
Hmm.
Um, but Rhaenyra holds a little testy court. A lot of people are pissed. A Septa is there, and she like begs for protection from the Gold Cloak, and Rhaenyra literally just is like thoughts and prayers. She's like, "Well, I'll pray for you. I'll light a candle." It's getting real
But it's
intense.
so funny though, because she said that she'd light a candle right after the petitioner said that we're running out of tallow for candles.
She's not
I
listening,
know.
not paying attention.
It
Um,
almost looks like she realized that too. She had a light a candle.
yeah.
Hmm.
It's like I'll specifically do it, and then my God, what a scene this was! Rhaenyra Targaryen cuts her fingy on the Iron Throne.
Yeah.
Why do you
Just
sound
like,
so happy about that?
well, because Chris, I'm so glad you asked that. Because in Targaryen lore, and again, the small folk don't know this. This is strictly these psychotic blonde people who sit on that throne. It is believed that if the Iron Throne cuts you, it's its way of rejecting you. And we've seen like three monarchs sit on it: Viserys, Aegon, and Rhaenyra. Two have been cut from it. One was not. Which one wasn't, Chris? Aegon Targaryen. And last season, remember when he was drinking with his buddies? He was like laying on the thing, No cuts. No cuts. Green's
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I mean, it's you're spot on. You can only make so many bad decisions before the Iron Throne's like, you got to get the fuck out of here.
Mad
And
King.
we saw it with Viserys.
Yeah.
Um, we're seeing it with Rhaenyra. She even looked up at the statue of Viserys right after the cut happened, and she started getting a little like dizzy or overwhelmed.
Emma's face was adorable. They kind of did this. They were like, they gave like a little like,
Like, damn
whoop,
it.
whoop, and looked at
Yeah.
Viserys like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, it's because she's very familiar, like you said,
Oh yeah.
all the Targaryens, like that's the stuff that haunts them.
You know,
And she knows exactly what that means as soon as it happens, and she skedaddles out of there. But before that, I had in my notes here, she just started like blaming the Hightowers for everything. Like that was just like her fallback. It's a tale as old as time.
and throughout Westeros history as well, obviously these Targaryens don't know the Mad King, but he got diced up by that thing all the time. Maegor the Cruel was found on the Iron Throne, completely slashed to death. which was an ancestor of them, so they know that guy existed. Many people believe it was assassins, but many also speculate if the Iron Throne itself just decided he was unfit. Like that's in the lore. Yeah, the Iron Throne was like, get fucked. Um,
Well, you hear one of the like small folks say something like, "Yeah, but you're the only one we have now, so like doesn't matter whose fault it was. What are you gonna do about it?"
that's it.
So
Yeah.
it's interesting that you guys have been saying like this whole time her whole play was like I'm trying to get the small folk on my side, yada yada, and she's just failing miserably at that.
I know. And
Mhm.
it's tough. I mean, and from there, Damon goes undercover. He does a little undercover, Damon. This guy loves going undercover. And he catches the Hightower assassin. This is the guy we talked about on the pod who was in green earlier. And the Hightower assassin's like, we're many. There's a lot of us. You can burn us, you can kill us, you'll never get us to accept her. Kind of digging into the what we saw in season one when Damon took Rhaenyra to Flea Bottom. Sexism will always be a thing where people just don't want a queen.
This is interesting to me. How quickly does it, how quickly can someone completely become entranced with like an ideology? Like,
24 minutes.
I mean, that guy was just like a guardsman on the ramparts of the city, like in a pretty public life. Like you don't expect for him to all of a sudden like lead this assassin network and like have this like line that he drops about how you'll never get us to accept her and we're one of many and blah, like that sounds like something that is almost like the old slave masters from Game of Thrones where it's
Those are
been
the Harpies.
centuries of that lifestyle. And
Mm.
you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
seemed a little out of place for me there.
It's the high tower men are all indoctrinated in that seven thing,
Yeah.
and Targaryens are
Mm,
savages, even though they're trying to replace Rhaenyra with other Targaryens. Um,
mm,
it was an intense line, and you never know. Maybe he was one of the more idealistic, which is why they were able to use him.
mm.
Um, I
Yeah,
feel like
maybe.
I feel like that level of idealism unfortunately exists like all over the place if you look for it hard enough.
Yeah.
Um, but as for like that level of indoctrination that quick, I don't know. How far into the first episode of Game of Thrones does Daenerys show up? Because that's when I was like, I'm in.
Man.
I'm in. I was like, you know what? I will watch this show. You know what, Chris? I called
It's
Chris. I was like, I'll do the podcast. Sure.
I
Kids, are you gonna say something?
I was just feeling like this was like a really well paid loyalist of Otto in the High Towers. Like he's always been loyal to the High Towers and he's just very well paid. So he's going to start this movement trying to get himself back into a position of power and get his people back on the throne.
Hmm.
That's the way I was taking. Like I don't know if that was actually in the show or if that's just me trying to fill in blanks for it, but
Could
I
be.
don't know. I
Like,
was
no,
just
problem with the writing of the show is oftentimes you have to fill in the blanks. And you would rather not. You'd rather them just explain it to you a little bit and give you that sort of runway.
Yeah, man. It just do 10 episode seasons and we could have the explanations, There could be stuff that's not left out. This
Yeah.
is a self-inflicted problem, but we've talked about this before and we can cover it at the end of our
Yeah.
episode review, but it is disappointing in situations like this and when we talked about before with like Sheep Stealer and not being sniffed out by one dragon and not by another and then
Yeah.
you don't know who's getting dropped through the moon door. It's just, self-inflicted wounds.
To start the scene. And also, I don't need to see Alan kiss Bela. That's weird. Don't do
Yeah.
it. Stuff like that. Damon kills that guy, and then he bumps into Ulf White, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And Ulf's like, "A man has needs, all right." And Ulf's needs are just drinking with the boys. And then Damon just kicks the shit out of him. Ulf is
I'm
at a breaking point. It's only
I'm
so much a good guy can
surprised.
take.
I'm surprised Damon doesn't have a closer grip on how to kind of control these type of guys, right? Like,
The Prince of Flea Bottom can't handle a guy who likes to get a little drunk.
yeah, like have like okay, you're into drinking and maybe whoring around or whatever. Like, okay, send some people to his room at the Red Keep, right? Have some parties there so that he doesn't have to go out and do this stuff. I think it's a pretty straightforward uh, you know, problem solve there. And Rhaenyra, I understand not understanding that so much, but Damon, we saw in season one, like he was the one exposing Rhaenyra to the different pleasures of life and things like that in Flea Bottom. So again, doesn't really add up to me, but I guess once the command has been passed down, then you kind of have to enforce it. So from that
Yeah.
standpoint, maybe, but
I also think at this particular time, everything is going so wrong that there might be a level of impulse control issues on the blacks where it's like you're so
yeah,
anxious all the time that you're just like
yeah.
swing first, ask questions later.
Hmm.
Um, Hugh Hammer sneaks into Tumbleton. I'll just compress these two scenes. Talks to his wife. She's pissed at him for having left them behind. There's not much more there.
Did that scene make sense to anyone? Her reaction to
I would have
him
been like,
coming
"You got a
back?
dragon? Let's fucking go!"
Yeah.
Oh, they call it the Bronze Fury. Let's go!
Him going in and trying to save his family and get them the fuck out of that city, that made sense. But her being like, whoa, where have you been? You're alive? Fuck you. Like,
She's
Yeah.
like, she's like, I'm gonna be here for my family. I was like, didn't your isn't he your only family left at this point?
yeah.
You would think.
She's like, do you know how many steps it takes to get from King's Landing to Tumbleton? He's like, no, I flew on Vermithor.
Let's get the fuck
Sorry,
out of
let's
here.
go.
I
It's
mean,
so
you would
fast. It's so fast on the dragon. I get here like that.
I get being mad. I'd be like, bitch, where were you? I've been having a time. But like,
Mhm.
I get being mad, but still get the fuck out of there.
100%. That's the you would think that that initial reaction adds up, but then to like continue and just like run him off,
Like,
yeah, she's got some growing up to do.
Got some growing up to do. Indeed, it's not like he was like, I was at the tavern. I was trying to find a new blacksmith job. I got a dragon. Do you understand what this means? Like, no
Hmm.
one can fuck with us. It's the second biggest dragon in the world. Vagar is public enemy number one. Once he's done, it's the number one dragon in the world. Like, what are you worried about? All our
And
problems are fixed. And I think in season two, didn't their child die?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
she might be a little perturbed about that. But
mm,
I'd be like, Vermithor!
the
A
drag.
dragon and a title. Like you have everything that you never would have been granted in your entire life, and she's reacting that way.
Mm.
She's like, I'm staying here in Tumbleton. And it's like, yeah, let's see how that works out for you. Um, Ormond and Daron and Gwen are having a nice little family din-din. And they are met with the Baratheons come, the same Baratheons who treated with Rhaenyra, except they don't look like the same individuals at all. And they're also super dirty, which I think Rhaenyra did on purpose. These are the assassins that Rhaenyra sent to kill Daron and Ormond, but Gwen sniffs it out. Big fight ensues. Ormond does not draw a sword, but John Roxton and Gwen clean house, kill all the assassins. Gwen has a great scene where he's like, Sir Arian Baratheon is chestnut of hair, and he's like fucking picking the guy's head up. He's like, and far more comely, and like throws his head down. Ormond throws up because of the smell. It's like, you're supposed to be a tough guy. And Gwen just shit housed everybody, and you just stood there scared and then puked.
We were wondering how Rhaenyra was going to use the sense of smell tip that she got from Alicent, and
Yeah.
this, I mean, this on paper was probably her best assassination attempt, I guess, beyond Blood and Cheese, because that one actually was successful. But the smell and the disguise was pretty highbrow.
Yeah. I was like,
Yes.
damn, okay, that was smart. I
Mhm.
almost didn't see it coming.
It was cool. I mean, honestly, just shout out to Gwen for knowing his knights, dude. The guy knew his
Yeah.
knights. He, had, and we saw that in A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. These guys get a reputation. You know them, or you don't in the case of Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. And Gwen the whole time was like, he didn't buy it from the word go. He was
Mm.
all in on that.
Mhm. Way to go, Gwen.
Um, from there, Gwen then talks to Ormond Darren's in the square, sort of sword fighting with some boys, and Gwen's like, I understand he would make a great king. Not that that matters to you. What's your angle? What are you driving at here, dude? You're a selfish freak. You can't smell things. What are you up to? And Ormond doesn't give an answer. It kind of cuts.
Which makes me further question what his real strategy is. Because as we talked about, like A plus B is not leading up to C with his strategy of drawing the blacks in and getting the high houses on his side. So what is he really angling at?
There's an angle where they don't ever explain it, and anytime anyone asks him, they do this really cool thing where they cut to a different scene.
Mhm. That's it.
That's it. That's it. You rewatch the Battle of the Long Night in season 8, and anytime a named character is about to get swarmed by whites, you know what happens? They cut to a different character, and that means that the character from before is fine. Um,
Well, except for the scenes where Sam was just like literally covered in White Walkers and somehow like
we've
got out of
covered that.
there.
We've covered that. He turtled. He turtled in. He had that big coat on, and he turtled in, and he was fine. Um, Rhaenyra sends Alicent to Harrenhal to kill Aemond. All right. Next scene. Alicent says goodbye to Helena. Do we want to cover it? Should we talk about it? Do we even talk about how that makes any kind of fucking sense? All right. I liked this episode and I've loved this season. That scene, I think I started to drool a little bit. My eyes, I was like crying. I was like, what are we doing? And it's just because I think Ryan Condal kind of has like an Alicent thing. She is a prisoner. She doesn't need to have this much screen time. Lock her in a room and tell us about Black Alley Blackwood.
Yeah, you're sending a prisoner, probably one of your most valuable prisoners that you have,
They're only
alone with
valuable prisoners. It's her and Helena.
yeah, with like an unnamed sword. They talk about one sword. So okay, the obvious issue with that is like, what happens if Alicent just uses her glib and convinces the sword to be on her side, like she did with Kristen Cole, or like she did
With my Syria.
with Masseria, you know what I mean? And then the second part that is also a glaring hole in this plan is, even if they somehow make it through the war-torn Riverlands to get to Harrenhal and find Aemon, who's obviously being concealed because like multiple people have tried to kill him there and haven't found him. Um, Even if they find him, what are the chances that this unnamed sword is going to be able to defeat Aemon in one-on-one combat?
I do think it would be great if the guy does try and then Eamon just kills him and then Allison's like, whoa, that was weird.
Didn't see that coming.
Whoa, who was he? Who is that guy? I gotta get out of here. It's dangerous. Whoa. But also in the look ahead, Allison easily gets there. And even and it in the look ahead to next episode, also Alice Rivers is like a cloud hangs over her. She means to do you harm. This is literally they just so this is a big issue with movies and show writing nowadays, guys is sometimes in order to move the plot, you need a character to do something that doesn't make any sense. And I think they want Rhaenyra and Helena alone. This is my personal, and there's no spoilers. I think they just want them alone. So in order to do that, they need Alicent to leave. So they're like, this is fine. This is what we'll do. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing? This is
I
not
was
making no sense.
okay. I so Allison is supposed to be like the Trojan horse, Odyssey reference, getting her sword into the near enough to Aemon. I thought Rhaenyra was trying to get Alicent to kill Aemon, and I
I
was
thought
like,
so too.
she's just you're just gonna
Well,
trust her
she's
to kill her.
oh oh, so when she wait a minute. So when Rhaenyra said we'll send a sword,
She's
she
like a
was talking
sword that
about
she
like
trusts.
literally Allison.
Alicent,
I
yeah.
assumed she was sending like a guard or like somebody in her whatever is left of her gold cloaks or her.
Chris, you know as well as I do the top three all time. It's like Arthur Dane, Barristan Selmy, Allison Hightower. People have talked about this for years.
It's like, did she
I mean,
expect him to like poison him or something? Like that's what I thought was happening.
that's even more loopy if it's just Allison.
Again, I think what's going to happen is they just need her out of King's Landing
But
for an episode and a half. She's gone. I don't know spoilers, but I don't know if she's going to have a huge success rate at killing Aemond. And
but
then that's it.
you could have just she planned this whole escape. You could have just locked her up in the black cells then, and then been like, Helena didn't
No,
plan this.
Chris.
She doesn't have the mental capacity, and then she's
No.
alone.
No, Chris, because Rhaenyra would never do that to Alicent. Rhaenyra would never, because you know what? Locking Alicent in the Black Cells is actually crueler than having her kill her own son. Because Alicent, as it's been established, fucking hates Aegon and Aemond. Hates him completely.
Oh, it doesn't.
Man, bonkers, just absolutely bonkers.
Condal, that fucking sucked.
You
Orwell gives
blew
Rhaenyra
it. You blew it.
You blew it. Whoa, that's easy. I know my you blew it. Orwell gives Rhaenyra the Baratheon assassin's clothes. It's got a message from Ormond. Kick this dog and it will bite your hand. Which is weird because if you're kicking the dog, it should probably bite your foot.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's like
Yeah.
Corliss, right?
For who?
Hand.
Oh, well, the hand. Oh, that's true. Kick this dog in it. Well, I didn't even put that together, Kinsey, because in the next scene, they kidnap Corliss. I didn't even think of
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Rhaenyra's like, kick this dog and it will bite your dick.
She's like, but I'm a
The
woman.
fuck does that even mean? And Gwen is just like a quick cut to like back in time, and Gwen's like, "Don't put that." Norman's like, "I'm putting it." But yeah, the next scene, Corliss has a moment with his men where he's like, "You get." They're singing "The Bear and the Maiden Fair," and which is a song that is throughout Westeros history. And then Corliss is like, "You guys have worked hard. I need to send you to King's Landing." And it's like a weird cut where it feels like it's like the exact moment, but the men are gone. It's kind of just Corliss and a few hangers on. And then Ormond's men show up. They kidnap Corliss, biting the queen's hand. Oh my God, it makes sense. We
Oh, did they
needed,
kidnap him? They didn't kill him?
well, we don't know. They
Okay.
just put a thing. I mean, I assume that we would see next episode if
Yeah.
he's dead, probably right away, because killing a main character off camera is a tough sell on this show.
Yeah.
Um, but something happens where Corliss gets grabbed by a guy. Big John Roxton is there. We needed a scene maybe earlier in the episode showing those men leave Tumbleton, maybe get east by Rook's Rest, ask people like, where's Corliss's campaign going on? We're supposed to treat with him to assist, and then they can hear Bear and the Maiden Fair as they're traveling. That takes about a minute and a half, but instead Condal was like, fuck it, let's give everyone a reason to complain. Boom, they're there. They show up. They're right there. They're in Corliss's camp. They're in his backyard. They've been there the whole time. In fact, they were singing Bear and the Maiden Fair with them.
All right. Are we ready to give a synopsis of this episode?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's give our rating,
Overall
Chris.
thoughts. Well, before I give my rating, I just have a little rant, and it has a lot to do with that last scene. But HBO, whoever owns them at this point, Warner Brothers,
Still Warner. Still
like these guys, all these folks, like you're cutting corners because you're trying to get quick paychecks out the door, make millions, billions of dollars. And if you just make 10 episode seasons, the pacing of all this and the explanation of everything just like solves itself. I mean, you don't have a rushed in scene at the end where bold John Roxton all of a sudden crosses through. The problem is like some characters like Lagon, they're going through a war torn area and they're running into bandits and broken men and things like that. It makes a lot of sense. But John Roxton and his folks can leave and then cross pretty much the same areas and like go through. I mean, the path would have taken them directly by where the Valerian men were heading toward King's Landing too. So like it just
Yeah,
there's
just give him
just
a
a
little
lot of
wave.
things. Yeah, it's like also like, I know Ulf was kind of tied up. I mean, Hugh Hammer had just gotten kicked out of Tumbleton, so he probably would have been flying at some point. There's just like a lot of corners being cut. The Allison stuff, you know, at least I guess like it's all shown on screen for the most part, so you're not
Right.
like, how the fuck did this happen? But the sheep stealer stuff that we talked about earlier, and then all of season two, like everyone was so pissed about how slow season two was and how, meaningless Damon's arc was until the end. All you had to do was put season or episode one of this season at the end of season two, and it would have been a completely different storyline.
Mhm.
You
I
needed
just
45 seconds. You could have done a 45-second montage of Roxton's men moving, going, talking, getting. That's it. It's all you need is you do
Yeah.
those quick cuts, which has been done it throughout all of Westeros shows, showing how an army is moving quickly to do a thing. That's all you needed. Get rid of the Bela and Allen scene. Get like trim some of the Allison bullshit. And you
Well,
get
I think
45
it
seconds just to explain it because you're giving people a reason to complain and they're
to complain.
justified. They're justified.
And
Mhm.
it's otherwise great material, but there's like the larger fumbling of the entire Riverlands, right? Like if you look at the source material, they're dynamic characters like
Oh,
like Bloody Ben Blackwood and like even Black Alley's covered way better in the books. Sabbath the Frey is like an actual like warrior and is active in the Riverlands and things like that, not an old lady. And all these stories can be told like Roddy the Ruin, dynamic character, has some major scenes in the books that make you fall in love with characters. And now, I mean, we were talking about this earlier, the scene at the butcher's ball where, you're reading it and you get shivers because it's like, wow, these characters that have fought this hard to get to this place, and now they're colliding and they've been chasing each other back and forth, blah, blah. I didn't even feel that weight to it when I was watching it because like I just didn't care as much about the characters. And I mean, Kristen Cole, I despise, right? But like, I don't know. I know I'm kind of blabbering here, but I think all this could be fixed with a little bit longer, more detailed episodes. I know I'm probably in the minority on that one, but
No, I think everyone
would love
agrees.
that.
I think everyone agrees 100%. I would love to see more to make it make sense. Like Black Alley deserves way more screen time, and I mean that because I'm into her. I'm into her big time. She won my
I
heart.
kind of forgot who she was for a second. I was like, why did they have someone random shoot him? Oh, right, that was that. I had to look it up because I don't didn't
Hmm.
read the books.
Hmm.
It's I mean, they need to learn what the Night of the Seven Kingdoms figured out, which is story-driven storytelling, or sorry, character-driven storytelling is what people resonate with.
As opposed to plot.
And
Yeah.
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 Plot when
Well,
you
in
do
the Night
plot
of the Seven
driven.
Kingdoms. Sorry, go
Go
ahead,
ahead. No,
Cheats.
you go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Night of the Seven Kingdoms is perfect for the production and HBO's goals of just like getting this on budget because everything's smaller, the story is shorter, it's more concise, so they can put everything on screen without losing a lot of the source material. Whereas something like adapting Fire and Blood, that a lot of it's even left out of the source material or up, intentionally ambiguous. Like there's a lot more room to cut stuff out. There's a lot more room to
Yeah.
make stuff up that's not as good. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Char- like the difference between character driven and plot driven. Like character driven is like Jon Snow's line in the sand is I'm gonna help the wildlings, and he lets them south of the wall, and he gets fucking killed for it.
Mhm.
Plot driven is we need Allison out of King's Landing, so the character is going to do something that the character would never be asked to do or would never know how to do because we just need her kind of gone. So in order to get her gone, she's going to have to do this thing. You know what I mean? It just makes no, and that's where you see those things that allows people to complain. And Dan and Dave, for all their faults with the end of Game of Thrones, man, adapting that, every character, whether it was title card Peter Dinklage, Lord Varys, Pycelle, Qyburn, you knew everything about them. Any of those guys died had weight. I mean, the biggest character to the smallest character on Game of Thrones, they made you
yeah,
feel like you knew them, and they had so much weight to them. That being
yeah,
said, love the episode.
yeah.
That
Same.
was a good time. That
I
was a
had
good
a
time.
higher rating for this until we started picking it apart.
Let's get into that.
Let's get into it.
Rating time. Chris, who wants to go first? Let's go around the room.
I'll lead us off. I gave it an 8.1. Solid episode. Loved it. There's a lot of good in there. But underneath
Hmm.
all that stuff that we're talking about, that you know, I think makes the difference between a an excellent show and a very good show.
Yeah, I agree. We talked about this too, and we'll talk about this at the Thronies, that like House of the Dragon could end awesome and be really good, but it'll always have that what could have been, which is unfortunate.
Mhm.
That being said, 8.8. In honor of
Whoa.
Patrick Kane, baby. 88's back in
Love it.
Chicago.
Love
And also, this
it.
actually, I really liked, I had a great time watching this episode. Also, I don't know if I was just in like a Sunday night stupor, but I loved it.
Okay, and I went with a 7-7, which is still, I
Okay.
think, a really good score.
It's a great score.
I think
Mhm.
I gave the other filler episodes like a 7.5 or a 7.2, so this was above that for me. And I mean, two big deaths. I thought Corliss died, but I guess he's captured.
We don't
Um,
know.
so those are big. And then he
Mhm.
this does do some things that I find very entertaining and fun, like Ormond mentioning that, Corliss was the one good thing that Rhaenyra did, and then going and capturing or killing him afterwards, like the little things like that. And then I liked that he wrote on there, "Will bite the hand," which seems off, but it was a tip off, like I'm going after the hand. I'm
And
going
no
after.
Yeah.
clue. I'm so happy you said that.
So I thought it does things well that are really entertaining for me, and there are definitely still characters that I really like and root for, and ones that I root against. So I'm still sad. I'm still enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to it
Mhm.
every Sunday. But as we were picking through
Mhm.
that, there were just some things that I was like, yeah, why did they do it that
I also like the
Yeah.
Allison Amon thing. I like that
way? Oh yeah.
stuff going
Oh
on
wait,
there.
oh
Yeah.
wait, I forgot to mention. I looked this up. There's another thing I noticed was he in the stitching that she made, the weaving tapestry.
Mhm.
He was like almost in a womb.
Yeah,
It's like womb imagery.
That's
And so
yeah,
insane.
again, I'm like, he's got a thing for mothers.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
he was curled up. It looked exactly like him in that one scene in
the
season
brothel.
2 when he was in the
Oh yeah.
brothel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
tried
he's
to
in
see
like
it.
this red, very womb thing, and then yeah, she's like lording over him doing this.
yeah.
Super strange.
Interesting.
Very
Very interesting. Very
feel like there's
interesting.
going to be theories running wild on the internet.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of Freudian theories, I think, as well. Best line, Yas Queen. I'll give my best line, Yas Queen first.
Need to
My
Got
find them.
it.
my best line, Oscar Tully. I made a promise to the dead, Cole. I told them I would build a sept out of traitor bones. I don't have near enough bones.
And I ain't got enough bones yet,
He got enough
baby.
bones, and he wants Cole's bone. And he gets it, and he gets it. And then my Yas Queen is Gwaine after killing the assassins, and he goes, Sir Arian Baratheon has hair of light chestnut. He's about a foot taller, and as it happens, he picks up his head and he goes, far more comely. Throws his head. That was great. Gwaine, I love you, Gwaine. Gwaine's coming up in a big King Gwaine, King Gwaine.
Oh,
Throwing it
oh,
out there, King
oh,
Gwaine.
Hey,
maybe.
anybody can be king these days.
Anybody, everyone's getting crowned.
I'll go next because I had the same best line, so you covered that one. My Yas Queen was from Damon to Torrin Manderley after chucking a chalice at his head, and he goes, "I will hear no more from those whose greatest battle has been against indigestion."
It's great.
Loved it.
My best line was kick this dog and it will bite your hand. I thought that was great.
Yep.
I love it.
Um, and then Yas Queen, which is just like this supposed to be the sassiest part.
Yes. Yas
Okay.
Queen is a sassy line. That's right. And best line is like the most impactful.
Okay. I
Mhm.
liked when Ulf turned around to Damon. It's like, watch where the fuck you're going.
That
And it happened.
was pretty great.
Like, God damn it, that's the prince. How the fuck? What are you doing here?
Can we all agree Ulf is
Um,
pretty fun?
He's a fun character.
He's a pretty fun guy. I like
Well,
Ulf.
for now, for
I
now.
like Ulf. I like Ulf.
You know.
Hottest moment. This is interpretive. Chris, hottest moment. It could be like hot as in like, man, that's pretty hot. Or it could be hot as in like, whoa, hot.
Yeah, it's basically a fire emoji moment.
Anything that gets the perkies up, you know what I mean? Anything that gets you a little, that gets the hair on edge, that gets the hairs in the back of your neck standing up a little bit.
Kenzie, you can lead us off on this one.
I was torn. I was either between Gwaine catching assassins or Crispy Cole catching arrows.
Mm,
Ooh, I
Both
like
were
mm,
that.
hot. It was hard to choose.
mm.
It's good.
Okay, we'll go with the two-headed hottest moment.
Yeah.
Love that.
Sheedy,
Sims, you go. Oh, I'll go. I'll go. I'll
well,
go.
yeah, you
Mine,
go.
Iron Throne cutting Rhaenyra Targaryen, baby. Just a little bit of, my pinky. What is that? Oh, just a
Mm,
little, fuck.
mm. Yeah, I think that was actually just she was holding a hair clip or something and it clipped her. It wasn't actually the Iron Throne. Yeah,
That
so
makes sense. That makes sense.
yeah, yeah, so chill out. Mine was the butcher's ball, Crispy Cole getting clipped. Famous scene. That's one of those that you read and you're like, I can't wait to see this on screen, and it delivered. So
It was brutal the way they filmed it. And I looked into it and they said it's so hard to film with a morning star, they said, because it's just much harder to control. Obviously, they're not using like an actual morning star, but they said it's just like they said that they rehearsed meticulously with Fabian Frankel, who let's give a shout out to Fabian Frankel, the guy who played Kristen Cole. He received so much abuse online. He's
that
not
means
the,
he did a
Grow
good
up.
job.
he's an
That
actor.
is, yeah, that is insane to me. People are giving him shit.
Yeah.
I've watched all the cast interviews and he seemed like the glue guy of the cast as well. He seemed like the guy that everyone kind of he's a fun dude. Everyone kind of rallied around him as like they're the guy who kind of brought the team together. He did a great job as Kristen Cole and falls into that what could have been category as well. I think Kristen Cole in the books has a little bit more meat on the bone, maybe a bit more complex of a character and a conflicted knight who believes he's doing the right thing as the kingmaker as opposed to the show really just portrayed him as a spurned loser.
I also think people should go check out Fabian's post for his like farewell post.
It was great.
It's
It was
great.
great. It was
It's
great.
very cheeky. There's some good comments in here, some good pictures. And if you are still giving actors shit for the choices their characters made, you need to grow up.
100%.
People
100%.
need, where do people get so much time on their hands?
Seriously.
coming from us with a podcast that we
Nah.
do, not a fantasy show.
This is difficult. This is hard for us. All right. This is work. All right. Now, Mount Rushmore. This segment we are matching Westeros characters and their car. This is difficult because this is like eight, but really it's Mount Rushmore. So it's four. It's actor, it's character, and car. Chris, did I describe that good?
Yeah, yeah. Characters and their vehicle pairing. So I can lead us off because I'm really excited for this one.
Oh, I bet. I bet you are.
I don't know why you would say that. I'm going to start off with Rhaena Targaryen and a 1997 Daewoo Lotto. This whip, it breaks down all the time. The steering wheel is difficult to control. She can't get any parts for it, but you know what? It's part of her and she's part of it, and that's what they are forever, and it doesn't make any sense.
I didn't know we were putting years on the cars too. Holy guacamole! I'm not.
I mean,
Kinsey.
you don't have to. You don't have to.
Okay, good. Kins.
Yeah, I don't know enough about cars, so I'm gonna go with Viserys. And if you watch Cars, the major motion picture where the cars are animated, there's a car that is called Rusty's, and it's like its chin is literally falling off, and its bumper's falling off, and it's very rusty. That's Viserys.
Did you just call it a major motion picture?
Yeah, right.
What is
I feel
that?
like most people understand
The
what
movie?
moving cars is.
It's a
Cars.
major motion picture.
Major motion picture.
I love that. She's like, it's one of the talkies. Yeah, I love that. All right, my first pick. I think Aemond would look sleek as hell in a Lambo. And he
Hmm.
seems like because when he's in that dragon armor, he's so svelte, right? You could picture him rolling up to the function in a Lambo, getting out, throwing the keys at someone, being like, "Park it," you know.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good. Would it be white too? I think he'd drive a white one for sure.
For some reason, I kept thinking purple.
Maybe.
Let's let the
Um,
Deep Thrones family decide and vote
yeah.
online.
Mine is gonna be off-white. So off-white in a Ford F-350.
Yeah,
He's rolling around blasting, like Florida Georgia line or
yeah,
something. He's passing out at the wheel, has 20 cans of Busch Light
yeah.
down at his feet, but he's just having a great time. That's
License
all.
expired as fuck, and we love all. Kinsey, number two.
I went with Damon
Ooh.
Targaryen. In case you- red Ferrari. They
Oh,
look like
Mhm.
dragons.
he'd look cool in that.
Mhm.
Yeah, he'd look cool in that.
That's
My
basically what Caraxes is.
my second pick would be Daron and a big wheel.
Mm,
Because I think that's
mm.
because he's not old enough to drive, so he's got to get around somehow. And I feel like just seeing him fucking doing that, you gotta, yeah, that's only good on the YouTube version. That's not great.
Yeah,
But you
yeah,
guys,
you guys gotta watch the YouTube version now. You have
A
to
really
for
good
that
impression
premium
of a big
content.
wheel.
yeah, I would love, dude. They should make adult big wheels.
That's a good one.
Uh, my third pick is Baela Targaryen in a Nissan Altima. And she's, Baela, after this episode with Alan, her Altima somehow smells like Takis and flaming hot Cheetos. She's got fucking Glorilla and Sexy Red playing on the speakers. Car's just trash. She's just all over the place.
I
So
love that.
that's Baela.
That's Bela.
Well,
I love that for her.
me again.
Kins.
I
Kens.
went with Luke Viserys with a Jeep Grand Cherokee because I feel like it's a good
Oh.
starter car, but they always break down
Yeah,
eventually.
your uncle drives you off the road.
Mhm.
Damn. R.I.P.
Or I guess
R.I.P.
I guess
His
Eamon's uncle.
cousin
Yeah, no, I
or
think he's Eamon's
uh,
uncle. Yeah, because he's his
oh
his
yeah.
sister's child. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
They're all
They're
incestual.
all,
Okay.
yeah. Mine, I don't know if this was a real vehicle or if this was AI, but I saw it in a meme and I was immediately enthralled. But it's sort of like the Oscar Mayer mobile, the Wiener mobile, but it was a
Yeah.
feet finder car. Had a big foot on the roof.
Oh
And I think
no.
Laris would drive that.
Okay.
Next pick for you, Chris.
We gotta throw we gotta find that
Well,
and put it
I
on the
will
Deep
edit it
Throats
in. It's the
channels.
feet
Yeah,
finder.
get
I'll
that.
find it. I'll find the feet finder car.
My final pick is gonna be Corliss Valerian. He's
hmm
gonna be in a Cadillac Escalade, of course. He's still tipping on fofos, wrapped in fofos, pipping fofos, and he's smacking those. So, he's just doing his thing.
Good. I am so happy for Corliss. I love that for him. That's great.
Um,
Ken's.
Hugh, I went with Hugh Hammer for my last one, and I
Oh,
just picture him in this like big Ford Bronco.
Mm.
love that, dude. Love that. OJ Simpson also, big Ford Bronco. My fourth. So, was it all just cars or sort of like modes of transportation?
I think we said cars,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
you,
but we could
but I
go
still want to hear what
Because
you
vehicles.
said.
mine was
Just
going to be
yeah.
Alicent and me with a little saddle on. She's on my back and I'm running. I'm Flintstoning it for her, carrying her from point like a real one of those rickshaws, but like a human version.
Hmm, we should have stuck with car.
Piggyback rides.
You guys are going up to Harrenhal to kill Aemon. You're
Going
you're
up to
the
dude.
unnamed sword.
I'm the unnamed sword. That's right. I'm gonna sneak up behind him. And oh, dude, I'd beat the shit out of Eamon for Allison. Are you kidding me?
You're gonna sneak up behind Aemon and give him your sword.
I'm gonna give him a oh yeah, dude. We're gonna get me and him. We're gonna get an epic sword fight.
Very comely.
Me versus him, very comely. Me and him going at it. Actually, me and him, I would do what Alice did, but better. I'd be like, me and you could build the next great dynasty, Chief. Let's go find Vagar. You blew it. You blew it. I'll go first, 'cause this is a pretty
Yeah,
easy
lead
one. We
us.
discussed it. Alicent Hightower, the whole plot of her killing Aemond, that plot, that story arc is beyond dumb. It's so stupid. I don't like it. It's not necessary. It's going to be stupid next episode too, which is why I hate it. It's because it's stupid two times.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah.
So is that to Condal or is that
Oh, that's a great
who's
question. Yeah,
yeah,
Ryan Condal.
You blew it.
You blew it.
you blew it, buddy. I can go next. So I had Rhaenyra, my queen, lover. You sent another faulty assassin, and this plan was a little bit better, but it still didn't work. And now you're sending Allison, who clearly isn't going to work. I mean, that's just a faulty plan to begin with. So, Rhaenyra, I love you, but
You blew it.
you blew it.
You blew it,
You blew it,
I
buddy.
had the same thing.
Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
Dude, she's
Maneuver.
blowing
Oh,
it all over town.
the double blow, the rare double
The
blow.
rare
Double
double
blow.
blow. The rare but feared double blow. And I will say, also, sort of a third you blew it. I did forget to put in the you blew it last week. Um,
Yeah, I did hear that. I heard
yeah.
that. I wasn't going to say anything.
No, I'm fully aware. You know what's funny? I posted it. It's just like 1 a.m. posted it. I heard it and I was like, fuck it. Want me to unpost it, edit it, and take another hour? Fuck it. I was like, I dare someone to say something. Um,
Called yourself out, so.
yeah. I called myself. I knew. Crown their ass. This is an easy one. This will be a three-peat. Everyone will pick this person
Whoa, whoa,
because.
whoa. Let's give an explanation on Crown Their Ass since it's a newer segment
Oh,
for
that's
some of our
right.
newer
Go
listeners.
ahead, Chris.
Crown Their Ass is essentially the MVP of the episode, who we are naming the king or queen of the episode. So with that set up, Sheedy,
Gwen. It's got to be Gwen. It's the only right answer because
Hmm.
Gwen was amazing.
Wayne, hi Tizzy,
Gwen High Tizzy, man. Love my Gwen.
Kens.
Yeah, I did have Gwen, I'm not gonna lie.
Whoa!
Okay. Wow, the
Chris?
double crown, double crown. Well,
Chris?
he's not getting a triple crown because mine was Black Alley Blackwood.
Oh, that's a good one.
She started out strong. She put down one of the most hated characters on the show, so she's got to be crowned for that.
Wow, that's a good point. That is a good point. Good game to Black Alley Blackwood. Strategy with Lord Mims. Mims, how would you handle the Allison to Aemond, sending Allison to kill Aemond? Let's hear your take on this. Would this be a good strategy from your queen?
I do whatever my queen commands. No, honestly, no, it's terrible. As far as bad decisions go on this show, I don't know that it gets any worse. I think maybe, honestly, maybe the only decision that was as bad was to not pay the only guardsmen keeping your city safe. That one's probably up there with this.
Hmm.
But yeah, send if it's confirmed to you that Aemond is at Harrenhal and you're that resolved at it, then send the fucking dragons. I mean, what
Yeah.
are we doing? that is the threat, right? Aemon and Vhagar. If
Yeah.
you're that, resolute that he's there and you believe in the dreamers and Helena's vision, send him.
Send everybody, get them. I mean, if you kill Aemon and Vhagar, then you literally there's like no other threat. And I mean that,
Yeah,
like no disrespect to Ormond, but the Black Army can just surround Tubbleton. And be
yeah.
like,
Doesn't
Starve him
even need
out.
yeah,
to kill Vagar, right? Just kill Aemond and Vagar will go back to
that's
sleep, right?
kill Aemon, and then Rhaenyra sends any Targaryen, like
Yeah.
her two Targaryen sons, Viserys and Aegon, who exist, by the way,
Yeah.
and be
Some
like, any of you little guys want to try to claim that guy? Because if you claim him, my reign is unassailable. If one of my sons claims Vhagar after we kill Aemon, that's a great point, Kins. Don't kill
Yeah,
Vhagar, just kill Aemon.
yeah.
Wow.
Joffrey's just hanging out. Maybe he could go hop on that yawn.
Always sleeping, that little piece of shit. Why doesn't he get his hands dirty? He's the heir to the throne. Every time we see this kid, he's fucking taking a siesta.
Mhm.
What segment? Oh, trial by combat. Last segment. Sorry, it's been a long weekend for your boy. I didn't.
Explanation on trial by combat.
Yeah, go for it. Shoot.
Oh. I
I
mean, it's
trust
your
you.
segment. Okay, I'll do it. So Trial by Combat was one of the original Deep Throne segments, but essentially, our lovely host Sheedy comes up with an idea that you could take and essentially give a thumbs up or a thumbs down on whether they're surviving the Trial by Combat.
Yeah,
So this will be a fresh idea, and we'll
yeah.
see.
Essentially, what it was back in the day, I was just naming TV shows that I thought would be considered better than Game of Thrones. That was super dry, and instead, I decided to create movies and TV shows that would be considered better than Game of Thrones. But now it's more like Sims is like a producer, and he gives a thumbs up, thumbs down kind of thing. It has nothing really to do with if it's better than Game of Thrones. I was not well this weekend. I was battling a little something. So instead of coming up with one concept, I came up with a couple, and I'm just gonna rip through them, Chris and Kins. You give me thumbs up, thumbs down, and we'll go on the next stage with these scripts. All right. Um, I got like 8 ideas. I'll rip through them. Some are really funny titles. Some are more ideal. Well, not funny. These are serious projects. I got I want to remake Avatar, but with like instead of the cool blue looking aliens, they all kind of look like funky little ET guys, and that one human still tries to crack that one. All right, thumbs up, thumbs down. Both of you. Which
I'm,
one do you think?
I'm in.
Chris is in. Kinsey's
I'm
thumbs up,
in.
it looks like.
But
Uh, uh, oh, I want to remake Hardball, shot for shot remake of the movie Hardball, but female version called Softball because they're playing softball instead of baseball. And instead of Keanu Reeves, I don't know, get like Kate Blanchett in there.
perfect. Thumbs
Thumbs
up.
up, thumbs down.
I'm in.
You're in.
Mhm.
It's right. It's an audio podcast. Kins, you're in.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Titanic reboot. I want to remake Titanic. But they missed the iceberg, but sink anyways
Mm.
because the boat just sucks.
Uh,
Thumbs
thumbs
up,
down.
thumbs down.
Psychomagic. Yeah.
Okay, thumbs downs on that one. It sounds like guys. I got one. An adult film based on Oppenheimer called Sloppenheimer.
Yeah, I'm in.
No hesitation. Bass in his voice. Not a moment's hesitation. Uh, an American Psycho remake called Canadian Psycho. So, but he's like, hey, I gotta do my morning crunches, you know. Hey, he's just very like, I'm the Canadian Psycho, you know.
And then
I'm in.
All right. It's kind of like Fight Club, but it has nothing to do with Fight Club. It's a psychological movie that takes place in like a corporate setting about a guy who he has to give like a high stakes work presentation, but he kind of has like a little bit of a boner, and it's called Fight Chub. And he
I'm
doesn't want
in.
to. Okay, thank you. I appreciate how passionate you are. All right, I got two left. This is one. This is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but they're like 90 years old. They're like retired and they're called back into action, but they're super fucking old. And it's called Mighty Morphine Power Rangers.
yes.
I'm in.
Perfect. And the final, this is great. It's a Face Off remake, right? The movie Face Off. And I was like, who are two people that kind of have a lot in common? And I thought, well, how about our very own Chris Sims and famous NFL quarterback Chris Sims? So it's like Face Off
Mhm.
starring both Chris Sims. It's called Face Off: Double Sim Sunday.
I'm, I'm in.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think all those are
Wide
going. We got
range
them
of
all.
ideas. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it is Sunday spelt like the day or like the ice cream?
The day, but whatever you want.
Okay.
Whatever makes you happy.
I think it would be better with ice cream.
Double sundae, yeah, some weird ice cream angle between you two. I like that.
It's like a chocolate and vanilla sundae or something. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, Chris. Now we're
And then
talking.
it's it's us facing off, and then in the middle there's like an ice cream sundae in the title art.
You've never seen Face Off, have you?
No.
John Travolta, Nick Cage, and they steal each other's faces and identity essentially. So that's you and
Mm.
this Chris Sims. Both Chris Simses.
Mm.
Be
So
interesting. I think it'd be
I'd have to go whiteface for it.
well, you wouldn't have to, but you can if you'd like to. We'll let you. Yeah.
Hard part is for the
Um,
other guy.
yeah. Oh yeah, I feel bad for that guy. He's gonna ruin his whole life. Um, so that was episode 6, Faceless Men. We have 2 episodes left of House of the Dragon, 3 episodes left of Deep Thrones with the Thronies. How you guys feeling?
I feel good. I this is good television. You're tuning in every week. You're excited to watch it. Yeah, there's some downfalls, but you can complain about anything that you watch or consume. So
Yeah.
overall, great.
Yeah, totally agree. Kins, thank you for joining us. Chris, thank you. And hey, Black Alley, hit me up. You can shoot an arrow through my heart.
And kill you?
She can kill me. She can kill me.
Whips, check out the hand, switch, shooters on swoosh, hitters don't miss. Aria just added a ton of y'all to my list. Bitch, death wish, not to be messed with, tested quiz. They shooting shots, hit